Okay, so I'm back kind of. I have news, good news. So the spaghetti was not completely eaten because I was so mad yesterday. I was like, so mad. And then I found out that it was my other roommate who went ahead and saved extras and then was intending to eat all of them. I'm like, what? I'm the one that who got all the supplies. What are you talking about? I wanted at least a bite. And so I was like, yeah, I was hoping to have some. She's like, probably grabbed too many. I'm just like, okay. Oh, yeah. And some of the stuff that we got, or that I got years. So it was like, we went ahead and like rang in the new year and then we put on those decorations and then like took photo or put on the new year stuff and then took photos. So yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of relieved about that. That basically it was just like she just grabbed all of them, grabbed all of them, all of the spaghetti. Um, so yeah. What else was there? I'm trying to figure. I'm wondering if she ate all the crackers too, because we did have like 2 packs of crackers, and she ended up eating like an entire bag. And I want to be like, listen, you guys want crackers? I can either wait until I find some, which is going to be very, very small chance, or everybody gives me $1 and I'll go ahead and buy another pack. So that way, since we all enjoy crackers and crackers cost like $4 a box. So, yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm teaching them to share. Oh man. Oh, I'd be like, you make it. There's 3 of us here. Please share it. Oh man, alive. Good grief. I don't know what I'll do with my roommates. I don't know. I don't know. I. Oh boy. Okay, so, anyways, aside from that, I did notice on your relatives page where it's basically like enjoying life for the kids. So, yeah, I think that's precious. And then, yeah, I thought that was cute overall. I did. Um, what else was there? Um, yeah, life goes by fast, especially as kids get older and such. So, yeah, like changing years and getting older. What else was there? There's something else. I think that was about it. I hope things are going well with your sibling, especially since I noticed basically power was out. So yeah, I understand like routine maintenance and all that and scheduled stuff coming up and things like that. So um, yeah, I get it. Um, yeah, so I hope things go well. I'm glad that your sibling found out. I hope before it actually happened, because I know overall it's like um especially when you're trying to run a business. So yeah. Um yeah, I hope things go well or went well overall. So yeah. Um yeah. What else? I think that was mainly about it. that I can think of for now. Oh, yeah, no, there was something else. What it is that I realized I was wrong. Basically, because I'm trying to figure stuff out, and I know it's not always obvious, I realized that it wasn't, in regards to my best friend's history, where it's not necessarily weird. What was it? Here, I'm going to start doing stuff so that way I can kind of focus. Where it wasn't necessarily... Oh, North Carolina Museum of Art. They actually have a Hebrew thing. Cool. I am going to look up some of these videos on YouTube, see if I can find them. But yeah, I realized that wasn't necessarily where it's like they were sexually trafficked, but they were sexually abused. According to the video, it said like a female relative that passed away. And I wonder if it was a relative that passed away or if it was just another adult. Because, oh, come on. Here we go. Yeah, one way or another, I know that's definitely just horrifying. And I do hope that my best friend is overall doing a lot better. And it's healing, because I know some things just aren't easy. Especially in this case. So yeah, I do hope that overall a lot of healing has been done, and so that way, like, overall it's possible to just kind of move forward. So yeah, I think that's really about it. Yeah, so I hope, I do hope my best friend has been able to heal, basically. And then, yeah, part of me is still very curious, like if it was a female relative or something else. Unless it's something that it's like, you know what, I really don't want to talk about it, then never mind. Yeah, no, never mind. So yeah. Well, I need to do the New Year's thing, so I'll go ahead and do a video in regards to the New Year's video because it's New Year's now. Why not? Like, you know, it's time to go ahead and celebrate that. And also, sorry about talking about these guys that I'm really not interested in. But yeah, I remembered, I think last night or today. I remember today because, yeah, I remember today. And I was like, oh shoot, I need to like stop. So yeah, I'll, for the time being until I forget again, which, you know, as time goes on, I'll remember better, because it'll get into a better habit. So I'll stop talking about the men who I'm just not interested in. I mean, they might be good friends, but they're just like not what I'm looking for in a relationship. So yeah. Overall, I think that you're great. So yeah, actually, I saw this one video recently, and it was, yeah, overall, for me, I think you're definitely enough, by far. And I really do appreciate that. You're just awesome. Like, for example, I was talking to this one lady and she's like, yeah, I'm married. And like, they both play Whiteout Survivor. And so I was playing on that earlier. I actually have 3 accounts in 3 different states out of like 3,000, probably 200 states at least. And what I mean by states is that there's probably a good 500, 600 people. I could be wrong. It might be like 400 people or so in each state. And so what ends up happening is that a bunch of people will join a state, and then after a couple of, like a few months, a few weeks, a few months, and then eventually a few years, a lot of people end up quitting the game. And so they'll eventually like combine states all together. So anyways, what ends up happening is that this one lady I was talking to, I was like, oh, like, she was like, yeah, my husband, da da da. I was like, oh, who's your husband? And she's like, oh, it's so and so. And she told me their screen name. Of course, everybody has a screen name on there. And she's like, yeah, right now he's like fixing the car, and then also like work posts. She's like, yeah, he's fixing the car right now, and then also like fixing the brakes, and then also he's fixing the fishing lines because they're about to go ice fishing. And I was like, and she was like talking a little bit more about him, and I'm like, that is so sweet, especially that she thinks highly of her husband, and is like, it sounds like she admires him very much, and then it just holds him up in high esteem. And I'm like, that is so sweet. Like, so sweet. I'm like, oh, my heart, that is like the sweetest thing. So yeah, I'm really, really happy for her. But I also watched this video earlier, and it was basically it was for the channel The Nuka Drug. And I'm trying to go through some of my YouTube videos because I still have about 380, 390 videos left to watch. And I'm slowly working through all of them. And one of them was basically for the new drug. And it's about pornography. And this one guy was like, yeah, he looked at pornography. And whenever he looked at pornography, he would compare himself to other guys. And whenever he compared himself to other guys, it was like, he was like, oh, I'm not like big enough, or I'm not fit enough, or I'm not like these other things, in order, I guess, to win the girl or get the girl. And it's like, ee. Which, like, I guess in a way it's similar to how some females, not all females, but some females, where they look at supermodels and they're like, oh, I'm not tall enough, I'm not skinny enough, I don't have, big enough boobs or butt, or like I'm not that skinny, or like I don't have that hair, or that skin color, something like that, or maybe eyes, or I don't know. They don't have certain qualifications. They don't look like the supermodel, basically. And in a way, I'm just like, that's very sad. Like, there's a lot of guys and girls. There's a lot of people who are looking for people who are like, oh, you're not a supermodel. Like, you look like a real person, and that's what I want. Because, like, supermodels, they can be great, I guess. But they just, for me personally, I'm like, I'm not looking for a supermodel. So, like, yeah, it's kind of interesting where Susie. I think it's kind of interesting where basically men will have that, like, the same kind of insecurity, because there are men out there who actually also suffer with male anorexia. Male anorexia, I would say, is slightly healthier than female anorexia by a long shot, because female anorexia, they'll die. Male anorexia is, from what I understand, I don't know if it's changed, I haven't looked too much in male anorexia, but like male anorexia, it's where they go ahead and eat like high protein and not very much else, and they end up losing a lot of weight, and they end up being extremely fit, which is like, congratulations, you look amazing, but it's to an extreme extent. It's not like, okay, here's high protein, grains, and still eating fruits and vegetables, so still having like a healthy balanced meal that your body needs. Yeah, you might look in peak condition, and actually the six-pack abs show. But apparently, just reading about it, is that the muscles are underneath like fat, which you actually need the fat in your body in order to survive. So it's actually a lot healthier if a person has like some kind of fat, which is normal, natural, like their body fat on them, versus like, well, you have like 1% body fat, which some people might be like, oh, that's wonderful. No, it's actually super unhealthy. You need to have a minimum of like 4 or 5% body fat, minimum at least, because if you're that skinny, like I saw this one video where this guy, he was like skinnier than me. And it was simply because of how his body processed food. And because of that, he had like 0% body fat, and he looked like a skeleton, basically. And again, it was simply because of how his body processed fat. And he was constantly eating, but his arteries were like so full of fat. It's like, what's going on? So they ended up finding out, I think, the gene that was causing him to still be hungry even after he had eaten. And they give him regular shots that are, I don't know how much money, but they ended up giving him so many shots in order to fix that, so that it fixes his hunger. Now, in regards to the other part, in which actually processes, like how his body processes food, that's still a work in progress, unfortunately. But other than that, like, I was like, good, because he doesn't, like, in his case, he doesn't want it, but it's a physical, like, condition in which there's not much he can do about it. So overall, I'm glad that he was able to get help, because he's like, hey, I physically, like, am not able to do this. Like, my body's like, I want food, feed me, and he looks like a skeleton, basically. So yeah, overall, like, it's like, yeah, so in the guy's case, like, you see these men that are probably almost starving themselves, like their body does need fruits, vegetables, like a healthy amount. Showing your six-pack abs, it's basically under a layer of fat. I would much prefer that a guy be healthy, like a balanced healthy, because if you're like a professional weightlifter where you're doing weight competitions and such, that means that basically people are going to be on a very strict diet. So it might be like you're only drinking water and maybe like raisins for that day and like peanuts, and that's it. And maybe like during certain times of the day. From what I understand, it also means you have to snack constantly. Probably about once every 2 hours, eat snacks and such, but you're not actually eating full meals. But yeah, so in a way it can be good, in a way not so good. I guess it depends. Like, if you're not eating at all, then no. But if you're like, I'm still going to eat like a small salad every so often, then it's like, okay, at least you're eating. Like, that's the important part. Like, that's definitely like the very, very important part. So yeah, um, yeah, so overall, I get it. Um, yeah. Um, and my mind went over to food. I'm gonna start eating some of this food. So, anyways, yeah, overall, like, what was I thinking of? Yeah, I definitely like, if a person, whether man or woman, has body fat, and I don't mean like where you're obese, like 300-400 pounds, but where you have like a healthy amount of body fat, where it's like you don't see the six-pack abs, but like you look somewhat fit, then that's perfectly normal. And I still remember whenever I was an au pair, um, someone posted in the work thing. I remember when I was an au pair that what ended up happening is that the baby was gaining weight, which is what you want, especially for a newborn. You do not want a newborn to be losing weight. You want them to be gaining weight. And so in this case, I remember the baby was like maybe 4 weeks old, and they were in the top percentage for body weight. And basically, the baby's gaining weight. The baby actually quickly grew out of the newborn diapers. And by the time I was leaving, they're like, oh, like it's only a couple pounds before the baby gets into like out of size 1 and into size 2. And so in this case, like, the baby looks, I guess, chunky or whatever, but I'm like, what, this is like the baby's gaining weight. It looks, some people might say fat. The baby did not look fat, but I don't mean like if an adult looked fat like that. But, the baby's gaining weight, has fat around it, and it's like, you want that. It means that the baby is thriving and growing, because from what I've read of other comments or like other people that have newborns or kids, like the baby, they'll have baby rolls and such, and it's like, oh, the little baby rolls. What's today? Friday? Thursday. Tomorrow I'm hanging out with a friend that I haven't seen in like 5-6 months. And then next week I'm planning on meeting up with two other friends. Anyways, so what ends up happening is that the baby ends up walking around, and whenever the baby starts learning how to walk, they end up shedding that weight like that. And so in this case, like basically the fat that's on a baby, it's helping them grow, and then it's helping them to become stronger to the point that they can go ahead and start walking. And so like, yeah, why did I even start going on this tangent? Anyways, yeah, it's important, like, oh yeah, in regards to comparing yourself to other men, honestly, I would have to say you look great. You look fine. As long as you're healthy, not obese, in a good weight range for you, like, it's all good. As long as it's not like where it's like, oh my goodness, you look anorexic, oh, please gain some weight, or like, not like that, and it's not like, oh my goodness, dear sir, you look about 400 pounds. Yeah, I think you're great, you're good. If you have some body fat on you, that's a good thing. Like for females, what it is that you want body fat on females, because if they don't have body fat, they lose their period. Like, that's the nutrition that I get from the body fat. It goes into basically having a period. It's basically letting the body know that you have enough nutrition in order to make a baby. And in my case, if I did not have enough nutrition to make a baby, then the body's like, oh, yeah, there's not nutrition. You're not around enough food in order to create a baby, so we can't handle having a baby. And so the periods would literally stop. So yeah, overall, like, all that to say, I know in porn, there's some guys who compare themselves to like other guys that they see in porn, at least according to that video. And there's other females who are comparing themselves to like supermodels. Well, they're supermodels. They're picked out of who knows how many other women, thousands of other women, just due to their look, their posture, their like size, everything. Are there short supermodels? Very few. I say that because I know I'm short, so yeah. But yeah, overall, like, yeah. Hence why I'm like, you know what? Yeah. For what you look like, you look great. Gray hair, black hair, white hair. Hi, Santa Claus, what's up? With a hat, without a hat. Short hair, long hair. I'll get used to the bald hair. Or the bald. I will get used to it because, like, it's you. It's who you are. Like, I it's who you are, and it's one of those that it's like I need to get used to, because there's really nothing that you physically can do about it except for maybe grow your hair out just a little bit, and it looks great. But other than that, it's like, you know what? One day you might not have any hair. I mean, it's a reality of it. You might not have any hair, and it's like, you know what? I still need to love the person for who you are, whether you have hair or no hair. So that's why I'm like, I'll get used to it. So yeah. Um, let's see. But yeah, overall, just wanted to say I think you look great. And um, just like, from what I can tell, porn can definitely help satisfy. Well, it doesn't even satisfy. It gives you fantasies of like what things are like or what things can be like, and just like a great desire, maybe an unnatural desire for like being physically intimate with someone else. But honestly, I just like, yeah. I I would have to say that one way or another, I am very content with the person that I would like to marry. And it's like, you know what? It's okay. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I have some cream cheese and a panettone holiday sweet loaf. I wish I had fruitcake. No one is gifting me random bits of fruitcake. That'd be cool. I really want to try figgy pudding. I have never tried figgy pudding. Wait, take that back. I may have tried figgy pudding. I just don't remember it. But like, I want to try figgy pudding and know that this is figgy pudding. And I have a couple of clementines that I need to eat too. And there is some bread. What I'm thinking about doing, because we have no butter and we have mayonnaise, is basically taking bread and then covering it with mayonnaise and then like sort of frying it. And I know that sounds weird, but I actually read that some people with grilled cheese sandwiches, instead of taking butter, so technically with grilled cheese sandwiches, a lot of people, they do butter on one side of their bread, put it on a skillet, and then after that they take cheese, put it on the bread, and then for the other piece of bread they put butter on that one, and then that way, instead of like just burning the bread, it like toasts the bread. So what I'm kind of tempted to do is basically take mayonnaise and toast the bread versus like burning the bread. So yeah. um Anyways, I think that's really about it. So yeah. And now I have to think of how I'm going to talk to my other roommate about, like, please share your food. Especially if you're going to eat all of it. Please share some of it. Because there's, like, 3 of us here, not just one. So, let me explain. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. But there are 3 of us. Please, like, save some for some of us. Please. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I'm kind of happy I got all the bath stuff and lotion. I just don't use it a whole lot. I mean, I do eventually get around to it. I've learned that I need to get around to it, especially since, guess what? I have eczema. So I kind of have to get around to it. Um, but yeah, that's kind of funny though. My mom got anti-aging face cream for I already look super young. Oh, I need to find my lighter. Oh, I forgot that. I really want to make Turkish coffee, and yeah, I need to find the lighter and put it in with all the Turkish coffee stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a great day. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I'll respond tonight. So yeah, because what else am I going to do? Oh, no. So I found out I can go ahead and make some flowers with this garden one book 1000 garden questions according to what my roommate suggested. So I want to basically like do that, but then the different do-it-yourself projects I looked at, it's basically calling for hot glue gun, and I'm like, that's like $30. And then I looked online and turns out hot glue guns are only about $4. So I was like, hold up, what? $4? But I'm like, it's $4. So like maybe when things are, you know what, my parents gave me some money and maybe I can spend it on something other than gas. Maybe I should look for a second job. Yeah, that sounds good. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Hope you have a great day. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and prayers that I will find another job. Yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I will respond as soon as I can. So yeah, bye. Love you.